Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Zwift Community Live broadcast, the CVR World Cup postseason races, bracket E for both men and the women. We are about to get out on course here for the London 8. It is going to be fast and furious race. According to our guest race analyst today, Mr. Quentin LeFay, we have some serious head-to-head support going on. Quentin, you want to give us a little bit of help here on understanding exactly what is taking place with the CVR World Cup and what is on the line today as we get ready for the start of the race in the men's race. Women are about to start in about a minute after them.
Hey everyone. Well, what is going on basically is that we entered last week the playoff, and the thing is you have second and third of every zone getting head to head. Basically, it's an open race, and from the two registered riders, the first one to cross the line moves on to the next round. So it's basically a one-on-one in a usual race, and the teams and the friends come into play, trying to help each other and making the race so much more tactical. That what it can be actually, and that's what makes it very exciting.
Yeah, so you were saying that the head-to-head part of this. So how exactly is that working? Is there's actual brackets that are being played out at this point? And do the riders then, there's two riders then essentially that are out here working against each other, but we have 61 who have showed up for the race today. Does that mean essentially that there's a few riders maybe out here that are just in it for the race to try and get a good workout, but it sounds like most of the riders out here today are out there working for one individual?
Yeah, exactly. We have two riders that we are going to follow very closely today. It's Piotr Krzyzinski from Team Poland that we have on screen right now, and Jeffrey Creel from Vision Cycling. And from these two guys, they are now at the quarterfinals stage of the playoffs. And the first one of these two to cross the line is going to move on to the semifinals. And you have Team Poland on one side, you have Vision Cycling on the other one with maybe a few other ones, and that's where you are going to see some fireworks, because I saw like maybe almost 20 guys from Team Poland signing up, and you can be sure they are all going to be working for the same guy. And same thing for Vision on the other side, and there's going to be some serious firepower today.
Yeah, for sure. And we do see all of the Team Poland riders here out there, actually. You did say Strzezinski was out there, who is battling it out here. Looking through, we do have a lot of Vision riders here. So the two riders that are out here battling out today are going to be Strzezinski and then one rider from Vision Cycling. So who's riding for Vision Cycling and what is on the line between them?
Uh, Jeffrey Creel is
Creel.
the from Australia, is the one racing for Vision. And what's on the line in these playoffs basically is the invitation for the CVR World Cup event that's going to take place in June. Because for the Los Angeles event that is happening in a couple of weeks, everything is set up, and the invitations you get from the postseason are for the next event. So basically, the one that's going to happen after the spring season of the league. So there's still a lot on the line, because, well, an invitation to this live event is what it's all about. And that's today they battle for still having a shot at that qualification.
So we are looking here. We're going to take a quick little look at the brackets. We can actually move them around a little bit in our graphic here. So the current situation with the men's bracket here that we're looking at that are out on course right now, we are seeing February 27th was the first battle. They were London flat 3 laps. Sean Gray, Andrew Hinton, looks like Jon Gravdal, Robert Lyons, and then Adam Boyko, and will be Vitar Mateus, and then Joachim Plugers and Igor Kops were battling it out. Marcin Krzywonos followed up against Peter Strzezinski. It looks like Strzezinski got the better of Krzywonos there and was able to move forward against his teammate there. And then you can see Eric Lascelles and Jeffrey Creel battled it out, and it was Jeffrey Creel who was able to take that spot there. Jerome Nefkins, Alex Dion, and then Eric Hung and Brett Boniface. Looks like Eric Hung took the spot and up against the national champion out of Canada now, actually. So interesting to see. So that is the situation right now. So we are watching Zone E head-to-head, Jeffrey Creel and Peter Szynski, but there are a lot of riders out on course to assist in that battle. Now, for the women's side of things, let's go ahead and check out and see what is happening in their race currently as they have gotten out on course here. And what's the situation here? Who against who out on course
Well,
here today?
we have two head-to-head on the women's race. We have on the one side Jenny Johansson versus Bob Kreisel in the first head-to-head. So on this race, and the second one is Fleur Kessels versus Anna Barbado. So two head-to-heads in the same race. So a lot of tactics
can
here.
you explain why that's different than from the men's race? Is that simply just because of the time? Like they agreed
that's because of the
to
time.
race at this time.
Exactly. Before every race, the two contenders agree on the time zone they want to race in. And whichever one they choose, and they tell the officials, and they say, they come to an agreement. And this week it turns out that both these duels have been set to take place in that race. So two heads, maybe some tactics between the two. I mean, you never know, but there seems to have quite a nice field in the peloton right now, and four of these are going to battle for the place in the next round.
So we'll be watching out for Kessel and a lot of Vixen riders out there. Is that right then? So Kessel, up against now who is she up? So since there's two out there, two different battles out there. We're gonna have to keep you watching. You're gonna be watching out for Kreisel there from Team Draft, then who is up against Kessels, if I'm not incorrect there.
No, Kreisel is versus Johansson.
Gotcha.
Jenny Johansson from Denmark, if I'm not mistaken, and Fleur Kessels is against Anna Barbado from Spain.
Gotcha, I see that. They are all in here, I believe. I'll be looking through and seeing if we are missing anybody on the day for that race. But we are seeing Cassie Baldy here attacking out the front now. Team ZHR, I do not believe they have anything on the line with Cassie here in the race. So maybe just causing a little mayhem off the front here. Good to see her with an attack here. But it looks like Kronenberg here with Kessel on the wheel here trying to make an attack there. Kreisel, they're able to follow it immediately here. And then we do have, it looks like, Muldoon off the back here. Webster as well, just a little bit. Barbado is falling off, and that will be the loss for her. For that head-to-head, if she does not close this down immediately, actually, we'll see if she can grab back onto that wheel as she's watching the race kind of walk away from her at this point, as Kessels is getting away there out of the Netherlands. It'll be interesting to see if she can close this down. It's very early attack, but it is a good spot to make that happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's very dangerous because Fleur is the very good rider. She was in the plant of CVR, and she had some very good results there. And she's not to be taken lightly. And especially since she has the help of Carrie Conaber as well, that we know she's a very experienced and very strong rider. So very good move, very early move, and it might be a bit early to call it game for Fleur, but she's taken a very good step towards it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It is a very long race here. 2 laps of the London 8 course, actually. So it is going to be a long day in the saddle for both the men and the women out here. We'll see if they can hold on to the gaps that they are forming here. Cassie trying to go off on her own for a solo TT almost, it would seem, with this early of an attack, actually. We'll see if that ends up sticking or not. Brave move for sure. Now, in the men's race, we are seeing, it looks like Justin Pierre Vicati actually up toward the front here. Interesting to see from ODZ. Does Justin have anything in the line here, or do you think he's showing up in support of some of the other riders out there, maybe just getting a good workout in. This is a crazy head-to-head. I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of attacks in here. And so just showing up for this race for the workout would be a very, very intense situation, actually, and an amazing workout, I would think, to try and hang on with some of these riders out here. Kim Little's in the house here. We're over at the chat. We were saying number one, Dafford Williams is here as well. Good to see you there, Kim. And glad to have you in the broadcast. Now, Kim, I believe, is out there on course right now, if I'm not incorrect. Actually, there he is. 3.9 watts per kilogram, 332 beats per minute. He's looking fairly calm at this point. London 8, they're going to be on this flat classic course for a little while here. I think Box Hill, most likely, going to be the place to be really hammering up the climb.
Yeah, Box Hill is going to be the place to be today. It's going to be crazy fast. And Kim already raced today. He was helping his teammate Joachim Pluschmers in the Zone C against Vitor Mateus. And they did 6:02 at Box Hill both times. And it was already crazy fast. And they really smashed it on the second climb. And he's going for it again.
This is amazing. Listen, do you guys understand what Quentin is saying? We have proper team domestique type situations going on here where you got to show up and just put the work in a couple times a day on race day. It's pretty amazing, actually, what's developed here in this virtual world with the teams showing up in support of each other in order to race their hearts out on course here and just throw it all down the line for another teammate. You're hearing, it's the same situation where, you throw it all down on the line in order to get somebody over a climb. It regroups. You actually end up back in with the group again. You're totally blown out. You're like, whatever. I got to go back to the front and sacrifice everything again for whoever it is to make it happen. So, Kim Little with an invite already to the Las Vegas event, or not the Los Angeles event. So because of that, showing up out here in force actually for his teammates, and it looks like he's out here perhaps I think a little bird told me maybe working for Vision out here today.
Well, the thing is, you were talking about domestic work, and it got even further than that. All of the guys from one team or another are in the same Discord server talking to each other during the race to know what to do, when to do it. And they are all talking to each other right now. And I'm not going to tell you about the tactics because, I can still hear them talking.
We don't need... Quentin is in there listening to the tactics. Oh, my goodness.
I'm keeping an eye to it.
You need to keep those. We're going to keep... We're going to keep that all in the... We're going to keep that secret. Pocket. Yeah,
one thing is amazing is that today might be I think it's the first time we broadcast that kind of race. And there's not been many times that kind of thing happened. There was the first event race a couple of years ago. There was the first live event in Vegas, and there was the first multi-stage event in Paris. And that's the first head-to-head that we broadcast. And it's gonna be fireworks out there. You have 20 versus 20 to be a 1 versus 1 in the end. And
it'll be interesting. What's going to be really interesting is how it plays out, because if the rider who they're all working for gets dropped, they're not going to leave him.
Exactly.
It's a totally different situation. In the past, you would hit these climbs and sorry, the points are on the line and whoever's going to go, if you can't hang on, I got to go. It becomes every man or every woman for themselves, right? But at this point, if Strzezinski gets dropped, all of Team Poland is waiting and going to pull him back up to the other riders, and the other riders can be like, Team mode, let's go. So this is a lot of hype, a lot of people really out here sacrificing a lot for these individuals here. So it's Strzezinski versus Creel out here on the London 8 course. They're heading over toward Box Hill right now, and the fireworks are about to start. No attacks just yet. They're going to wait and see how I think the riders perform up and over the top of the climb. I think that's really where they are waiting for, to see who's showing up with the right legs, and talk about the pressure on these two individuals right now. It's all on the line in the head-to-head. Who's going to go on to the next battle out on, and the next battle is actually going to be out on, I believe it is on the Watopia course. I'm just going to double check this here real quickly.
It's on the hilly reverse.
5
laps of the hilly reverse.
5 laps, hilly reverse. So right now we're on 2 of London 8 forward, 41 kilometers, 25 miles total. Watopia hilly reverse, then 5 laps next time. Then they're going to finish it out on Tuesday, March 20th, of single last head-to-head for 7 laps on the London Classic course. So super, really, really cool setup here coming from CVR for these head-to-heads. And, you know, it's going to be interesting here as they head into Box Hill to see how things play out. Now, we do have a lot of people here knowing what is on the line, cheering on the individuals that they want to see win today. We actually see BJ Alfonso coming in saying, "Go Ana Barbado. Go Team PTZ." Good to see you there in the broadcast over on our Facebook post. We've got Claudia Barron coming in here. Go Jeffrey, go Vision. Vision colors looking good coming from Mikkel Staunton. Looks like the Vision entire team bus has shown up in support of Jeffrey as well over at the broadcast as well. Let's hear it for Peter as well, if there are any fans out in the viewership out there as well for the Team Poland and Trzynski. Let's hear it as well. Let's get some cheering for Peter. Let's see if they can hold on. Jeffrey versus Peter Trzynski. This is going to be interesting. I'm not sure this is the first time we've seen this head-to-head either. Not well in this type of race format, but we do see Trzynski here, 171 beats per minute. But Jeffrey Creel, I think, may have raced Trzynski in the past for a spot in the London race, actually. I believe Trzynski was in that race when we were out on the Watopia reverse hilly, I believe.
I think that's correct. When he won the sprint for the invitation in London, I think Trzynski was there as well. And they raced together in London. They did race together in London as well.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if they're looking for a little bit of revenge here against each other. Another head-to-head to prove what they've got now. It looks like Team PL are making their way to the front now. Trzynski here. Vang is there as well. KRT. As you can see. And then it will be Diner up toward the front. Kim Little, Adam Webb, Vang. And the pace from the get-go, we were seeing orange numbers, 8 watts, 7 watts per kilogram right off the bat. Just hang on to my wheel, Philip Diner says. 183 beats per minute right now. KRT in the house. Now, what I'm wondering is Vang out here working for Trzynski, or is it going to be a Creel mega team here out on course? But now we've got Little there. It looks like Webb is there as well. Netzer from Vision Cycling. Then it will be Adam Zimmerman here for Team Draft, actually. Good to see him out on course here, hammering away as well. And looking through the rest, it's going to be Creel sitting on the wheel there. Where is Trzynski? Has he fallen off already here? Here's Trzynski there, protecting, it looks like, his teammate there. But where is the man that they are all worried about out here today? Team PL here. Here's Trzynski playing it smart, not really going with any attacks just yet, hanging onto the wheel there of Piatek, and it looks like Iwanski now also as Goralik, all together there looking to protect their team leader. And you know, you can have all the strongmen you want on the front, but if you know you're only as strong as your weakest links, I would say links rather than link. Because if you have a few semi-strong riders, but the other team has like 3 or 4 just top tier that are able to close down any gaps, a lot of times it's not going to matter how many you have out on course. If you cannot hang with the pace they set up over the top of Box Hill, it's going to be said and done. Now, Commissar here up toward the front here for Vision as well. Burkholt there from the Vikings team hanging out from Denmark. Interesting to see him out here. I have a feeling he may be out on course looking to support the Team PL and Trzynski out here today. So no breaks just yet. It looks like things are fairly calm. Well, not calm in the heart rates and the powers, that's for sure. 181 beats per minute right now. Netzer, Webb, Burkholt, they're trying to break things apart. Now, the question is, if you try and break things apart, though, and your rider falls off the back, you know, is it just set it as high as we can, make it as fast as we can without dropping the rider? That may be what's going on here. But Creel here, 6.7 watts per kilogram. Strzezinski now up ahead of him at this point, actually, I believe. Let's go ahead and double check that. Yeah, that's Strzezinski who's off the back, actually. So as you can see here, Strzezinski does have a couple of wheel lengths, but Creel has marked his man, it looks like, 6 meters behind him. That's it. 5 meters is the gap at this point. So Strzezinski, Creel back together. And the pass is just wicked fast at the front end right now, but they have been able to drop off a few. And I think the goal here then between the riders, I mean, look at the gap. It's already gone out. We've got what? It's going to be about 12, 15 riders, 13-second gap. That's not coming back, I do not believe. And I think the goal here is to whittle it down enough that you might be able to see a few attacks off the front back on the flatter point of the course. If they do not believe they can close it down here and get off the front at this point, I think, Quinn, what do you think? I mean, these kind of attacks, yeah, lighten things up, loosen up the legs a little bit, maybe do a little damage here to tire some people out. But perhaps you could have a situation where if you whittle this down enough, you could start throwing attacks very early on the flatter sections of the course.
Exactly. And one other thing, if you can isolate the other leader or make him hurt enough on the first climb, you can throw attacks on the flat course and make the second climb basically just hell for him. And yeah, well, you know what I think of this climb, but that's not about it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you think of this climb. Everybody knows exactly what Quentin thinks of this climb now. That's for sure.
But you can make it even harder on the rider if you attack him on the flat. If you leave him with just 1 or 2 teammates, and you have a team of 6 or 7, like we see
Look
right
at this
now.
Quentin, off the back a little bit. Creel, he's got it. Looks like Little here coming right up next to him there, as you can see. A little bit of support there. Now Strzezinski getting right in the middle of it though and slowing down. 3.9 watts per kilogram for a second there, saying we're not going to make it easy on you. Look at the Team PL boys trying to make things difficult to pull Creel back in, but they're going to have to take Strzezinski off the front for it to matter. And he's alone up here. So they're just trying to make it difficult at this point because there's not another Team PL rider up front. So perhaps that was all they had at that point, or they weren't wanting to waste energy. But that did look like a little bit of an elbow, a little bit of a shoulder, a little bit of a hip coming out and letting Creel know Team PL is here to Creel know that Team PL is here to make things as difficult as possible for him. 2.0 watts per kilogram. Looking comfy now. 170 beats per minute. Sorry for interrupting you there. Just want to make sure we didn't miss that one. We are seeing some Zimmerman is gone chat there. Now Zimmerman is probably not going to be worried about, I would think, in the race. He grabbed a solid 5:59 there, sub 6. It looks like he's slowing right on down and wants to be a part of the race. Perhaps just a little bit of kudos there, trying to grab that KOM jersey. You know, I believe announced as the national champion for the US of A, actually. So good to see him out on the course here, hammering away right now. And Kim Little here, 5.7 watts per kilogram, 153 beats per minute. We're seeing Martikainen there, also out of Finland here, hammering away. Commissar here now making his way to the front, as you can see. And we are seeing Vision here really starting to turn the screws, but it's actually just following Strzezinski here, who might be trying to get away with his teammate, but I am not seeing Strzezinski anywhere near the wheel at this point, as we are seeing, it looks like Strzezinski here waiting up just a little bit. Strzezinski is right there, right behind him, as you can see there in the Team PL kit with the Tron bike. So Strzezinski there with the neon wheels. Strzezinski, his setup today, just so you guys can recognize it, he's a little ways behind here, right on the wheel of Kim Little there, as you can see. And then right behind Kim Little would be Netzer, and then Vang is there as well. There goes Strzezinski. No helmet on, glasses, and shaved head, just so you guys know if we're trying to catch who the avatars are out there today. Let's get a good look at where Creel is here and look at what his setup. Actually, long hair, it looks like here for Creel. I think that's just like in real life. Now, he's a little bit off the back, actually, at 3.4 watts per kilogram, 11 seconds. Is that right? No, 5 seconds, excuse me. But the pack is going to definitely be waiting up for him. 172, 173 beats per minute. He actually suffered over the top here. And Team Poland definitely have a situation where they can bring things back. Now, if they are going to play this smart, the entirety of everybody working for Creel at this point would just wait up and not make him do a whole lot of work. But it doesn't look like that's going to work real well, as all of the riders up front here are in a draft. They're not going to be able to slow down, and they literally have to let Team PL just go. They have to let Team PL go at this point and allow Creel to come back to their wheel. As you can see here, a few riders are falling back here. We are seeing Netzer here, as well as it looks like Martikainen. Little now going back to Jeffrey Creel, and this is a serious threat, everybody. I'm not sure if he had a dropout, maybe just a little intentiveness, but Creel is off the back, and there's only about a lap to go on the London 8. Is he going to be able to hold on to it? You can see Quentin, he's got a little bit of like trepidation there about what is happening, what is going on with this situation. Can they get him back in? It's 13 seconds. This might be said and done, but PL has to put on a huge effort on the front, and it looks like they have recruited some of the strongest riders out on Zwift, but I'm not sure who's riding for who. No idea, except for Vision out there. Trzynski, though, they see the moment, and they're on the front, just drilling the pace. We are seeing Wigforce here as well now making his way to the front, maybe working for it. No, maybe slowing things down. 3.3 watts per kilometer. Schwartz there as well now, 4.1. And there might be some riders just looking for a good workout, just saying, no, we just want to win the race today and just trying to make things happen. Netzer has gone back though. Commissar's there. Martikainen is there. Metcalf and then Creel hanging on to the wheel, trying to get some recovery. But the pace, again, is being set at the front here with the attacks. Can Creel hold on to it? Commissar now kicking again. Now it's only 2 seconds. Looks like the teamwork has made it happen, but definitely a moment of trouble there, Quentin, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit on the back foot, especially with the downhill, because well, you can't slow down right away to wait for your teammate in that position, because well, the draft gets you in the downhill, and it's a very dangerous place. But you saw how quickly they reacted to bring back Jeffrey on the back of the wheels.
And it was pretty amazing teamwork, actually, yeah. Quentin. Like, you don't often see that kind of teamwork in Zwift work out because of that every man for himself, every woman for herself situation. You know what I mean? You don't ever see that, actually. Exactly. It was so cool to see, actually, how that ended up playing out there. We are seeing Kim Little here, Wigforce, and that will be Trzynski all back together here. Webb is there as well. 27 seconds back to a few riders. Now, if they start looking at each other, things might calm down a little bit. Now, back in with the women's race, though, let us see what is happening here. We do have Cassie Baldy here off the front right now. 3.7 watts per kilogram will be Webster there. Now, Cassie is not involved in the brackets, though. But it will be Koneberg and Webster here with Kessels from Vixen there on her wheel. And this is a Vixen team time trial at this point to get away from, let's see, who is Kessels racing out here today? I just got to double check our brackets here real quick. I believe you've got the information on hand there.
Yeah, they are racing Barbados.
Now, or no, are you right?
No. Vixen is racing Barbados. Kreisel is racing Johansson.
Johansson, and where is Johansson? Maybe a no-show today? Have you seen her?
It might be a no-show. I can't quite see her in the lineup.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything from Johansson either. So perhaps a bye then for Barb Kreisel out there out on
course.
Might
be a no-show. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kreisel here trying to hammer away. It looks like Miner there as well. Now Koneberg though with Webster and Kessel's there getting away, it looks like, from Barbados, 141 back. She would need, I think, a crazy effort here to bring this back. And it looks like Vixen here, who's shown up in force, have sealed the deal here, it looks like, for Kessels from the Team Vixen out here coming out of the Netherlands. So solid result here, it looks like, for them. Here's the current situation in this race here. Jenny Johansson, no show, it looks like. Barb Kreisel will move on to the next zone to be determined there, it looks like, for the next head-to-head. And she looks, and who won between Dixie and Sonia? That's the question.
I think I heard that Dixie won this one. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I heard Dixie won.
Gotcha. So Dixie Newsom, then it looks like, perhaps the one that Barb Kreisel will have to go up against there. It looks like Kessels will be walking away and grabbing the W, most likely, barring any kind of mishaps there out on course. And so it looks like Jenny Matz then is going to be going up against Kessels most likely now. Now we are seeing a couple of attacks here. Kim Little here in the men's race trying to make things happen. As you can see, it looks like a solid 7.4 watts per kilogram commissary. It looks like this is a timed vision attack there, as we do see Kim Little, Webb there going along with it. Commissary Adam Zimmerman, Burkholdt, Schwartz. Where is the man they are working for, though? That is the question. I am not seeing him out on the attack here with him. Adam Zimmerman going with it. It looks like Burkholdt here from the Vikings team. Metcalf, Trzynski, Creel there. They're just trying to tease something out, but they've got their man marked. It looks like nothing's going anywhere just as of yet. So it will be Creel here sitting, it looks like, with Trzynski and the rest, or Trzynski and the rest of Team Poland. That is actually only Trzynski that's left. Now, do we know amongst this group here, Quentin, who is working for who? Is it, you know, what do we have any idea?
I think we know who is working for who. And well, in this group, actually, I don't know much about the side of Team Poland, but we can be sure that Trzynski is working for Trzynski, and the Vision group might have seen that there are just two of them, and they might want to take advantage of that on that course, because for Vision you have Creel, you have I got the list over there. You got Netzer, you got Little, you got Webb, you got Digner, you got Commissar, and you got Martikainen. And that is a lot of very strong riders, and they can take advantage of the flat section. And well, they might want to try to do just that.
Yeah, most likely. We are seeing the attack, though, off the front, which is really interesting here. Commissar, Webb, Metcalf, what is the situation? So perhaps this is one of those situations where they're trying to set up an attack up ahead out on course. There's a group formed, and then if Jeffrey and one or two others can go, and there, see, now here's how it works in Zwift and in real life as well. If too many start attacking, you see it all the time, the starter stages in the Tour de France or any kind of big stage race, the attacks start to go, right? Boom, 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 boom. But there's so many in a line that anybody can just grab a wheel, grab a wheel, grab a wheel, grab a wheel. And so many people are attacking that there's always a wheel to grab a draft. And since the draft is so powerful, it's really difficult to get that break to stick. But if you have a group of three already off the front and you put in a big enough dig to close that gap down, if you just put in an all-out sprint and you grab that wheel and you went fast enough that nobody can even draft on you, then it's such a jump that it's just game over the second you go. Same thing
exactly.
in Zwift. I think that's what's set up here. It looks like that's what they're up to here, Quentin.
Yeah, they are just going into Trafalgar climb, to the climb up to Trafalgar Square. And stuff might be happening here. Like, it's a very small...
Stuff might be happening here, you guys. We might see the stuff happen right now.
Yeah. Like, it's a very good place to attack. I mean, you got a small climb, and you got the spot to put out the watts, and you got a group in front to push you once you're over the top. So, I mean, that's a very good place to attack.
Yeah, as we are seeing here, Webb, Commissar, Kim Little, that it will be Zimmerman here up over the top with Trzynski and Diner. Now, David Williams, it is Trzynski, I believe, who is up against, not Trzynski, but Trzynski, who is up against the other, against Creel out here today. Just a quick little correction there over in chat. As you can see, this is the current bracket situation, actually, for the head-to-head. So earlier today, we saw... Now, do we know who won these races for the brackets?
Between
Hinton and Gravdal?
Gravdal won the first one, and Plujmers won the second one. And well, the next one is still to be held, but we still have the first semifinal set up. So now we just have to to race the last two, I guess.
Yeah, so that is the situation. It is Trzynski versus Creel. They are heading into their last half a lap. They've got the rest of the classic course here, loop here. Then they'll make their way on over to Box Hill for a second time. I haven't seen the attack I've been anticipating here. Now, they are just holding on to 11 seconds, and I believe they're waiting for the perfect moment to go. If they're going to use this tactic, they have to wait for the perfect moment to go. Now, if they wait too long, though, it may be too close to the climb, and they need to really, really put Straczynski on the back foot. That is what they have to do. They have to perfectly time things if they want to make this happen. Because the reality is, at this point, they have strength in numbers, right? Like Straczynski, and then obviously there's a lot of Vision riders around, a couple of guest riders it looks like out there today. So I believe there may be a few of these riders here. Vang maybe from KRT, Burkle perhaps from Vikings are working for Team PL, but they definitely have the strength in numbers. So that's why we're talking about it from that perspective, that if they want to, they have the tactics in hand. They have the opportunity in hand. Now here goes Diner, it looks like. Vang now going as well, closing it down. All the numbers are starting to throw down here. Here comes Straczynski, closing it down to Creel, because Creel has to go right now. They have to speed up, though, in order to keep the speed as he comes up to them there. Straczynski followed his 5 meters. This is about the race for the final, well, for the next spot in the brackets right now. If he doesn't close it down, and he did it. Creel there, 4.2, slows it right on down. Immediate close down here. Will they go again, though, right off the back of that? Will there be a counter? Commissary now starting to go again here, 6.5 watts per kilogram. Webb now hanging on to that wheel. They've put the heart rates up. They've put the lactate into the legs. The suffering is there, 180 beats per minute that you can see right there. Creel there, 169, has something to work with still, I believe. Will they attack out of the corner? I think once you throw those matches, once you start burning the matches, if you calm them down, everything goes way too cool. You got to just keep the fire burning if you are going to try and get away in a Zwift race. And it looks like they may be waiting up for Box Hill, though, and perhaps do not want to burn too many matches. It's all about what the riders are feeling like. Will we see an encounter here from Team PL? I'm not sure they can, though. I'm not sure they have the numbers to make anything happen. It's going to have to be a sprint or a climbing effort that just is too much, that they're just going to have to be straight up too strong for the likes of Creel and get away from them. I think that's the only opportunity at this point for Team PL, Quentin.
Yeah, that might be the only opportunity is to drop a very big attack on Box Hill, because even if they have like 5 or 6 seconds up over the top, you saw that all the Vision team was there to bring back Jeffrey. And well, even in the downhill, if the whole group is around Jeffrey, they are going to go so much faster than the two guys from Team Poland, Straczynski and Straczynski. So even in the downhill, they can bring back a few seconds, and we see that a couple of riders have been dropped as well. I'm seeing Vang dropped off the back, so that leaves just 13 riders in that leading group.
Now, you know the pace is fast. The attacks are timed well when a rider like Vang gets dropped off the back. This is a guy who was able to survive almost every attack in the E-Crit series, actually. European E-Crit series. This is the
guy who was national champion.
The national champion out of Norway. I forgot.
This is a national champion. So.
I mean, this guy, you know the pace is insane when the national champions are getting dropped off the back. Oh my goodness, amazing. Diner here now on the front here with Netzer. We are seeing a Burkle there as well. Vikings now on the front here. Kim Little now there, it looks like all together. And it looks like things have calmed right on down. We will not see the fire growing at this point. They're going to let it calm down, dousing it just a little bit, but I have a feeling we're about to see some fireworks, though, really take off over on Box Hill in just a moment here. So looking through, though, what's going on with the women's race of the Vixens. The Foxes have shown up, and it looks like they were able to hunt down the Hounds here and walk away, actually. So it looks, excuse me, the other way around, right? The Foxes, now if the Foxes hunted the Hounds, wait a second. So they, so Vixen, though, it looks like, say it one more, Quentin, say it one more time.
Who is hunting who? Seems like,
exactly.
Like a bit confused.
Exactly. PTZ, though, is off the back by 3 minutes, though, and it looks like, wow, what an effort here. This is so cool to see. Now, this is something, you know, that Zwift is all about. This is what it's all about right here. This is what bike racing is all about. And you see this team in support of Anna out on course here, working together, making sure that she has wheels to ride to the finish line here. It's a 3-minute gap. So anything could happen. Anything could happen now, but you know, and it's bike racing. We've seen things happen, but it looks like it is a walkway at this point for Kessels along with the rest of the Vixen riders. But PTZ out here in full support of Anna and getting her to the finish line as quickly as possible. They got about a lap to go or so. They're sitting about 7th place here with 7th, 8th, 9th, I believe. And amazing to see PTZ out there and in support of Anna Barbado out there coming out of Spain. Great effort by these ladies here. So up toward the front then, though, it looks like Kessel's here from Vixen with a few of the others. Currently sitting in 6th place, it looks like. Cassie Baldy on the front here, 1st place now. So this is the lead group, as you can see, Webster, Kona Bear, Kreisel, Kessels. We're actually able to catch Cassie, who did go off the front actually there. Nice job by them. Just demolishing actually this this course out here today and able to close down any attacks here from some of the strongest riders we've ever seen out on Zwift actually. So looking through some of the attacks here from the men's race, it looks like they're about to jump on over toward the Box Hill climb here in just a moment. And they're leaving the likes of the flat sections of this course. And this is when things might start to heat up a little bit here. We'll hit this downhill and then cross the bridge on over to the underground here. And Kim Little is on the front there in the Team Experimental kit, as you can see. Does look like their commissary now, all calm. Creel at the back, following. Look at the wheel he's on. Not the Creel here, long-haired. You can always see him with the Tron bike there, with the yellow Tron bike. And then it looks like Szerzynski there at the back as well. If you can see here, shaved head, glasses, as you can see. So we're gonna be watching those two riders as everything is on the line today between them. Who is going to win, take the next spot in the bracket and battle it out in next week out on the 5 laps of the Hilly Watopia, actually. Hilly Watopia 5 laps next week, and they will be battling it out with either Jero Nefkins or Eric Hung there, actually. So we'll see how that ends up playing out here between these riders. And then later today, they're in Zone G. So that's going to be in just a couple hours, right? For the Zone G, the battle between Nefkins and Eric. Correct, Quinn?
Yeah, I think Zone G is in 5 or 6 hours. I said a bit more than 5 hours now.
A little bit later start for them. As that might be a wake-up time, actually, for a lot of them. If that's in 5 or 6 hours, that's got to be on... that's an interesting start time, actually. So,
well, I think Hung is from Canada, so it's
okay.
It might be the usual time. I don't. I saw Nefkins was from the Netherlands, but I'm not sure he's located there in matter of where he rides. Because I see him quite often in the very late races. So it might be somewhere in the US, but definitely from the Netherlands.
We are seeing a lot of cheering now come through. BJ Alfonso saying, go, go, go to the PTZ ladies. Good to see BJ in the course still, or out on the viewership here, still saying, Jeffrey, go, go, go. Coming from Dave, Irma Creel. Coming on through, we see the same last name there. Looks like some family hanging out in the viewership. Javier Thomason's asking, Vision, new colors? No, Vision's got the same colors in-game currently. There are some chats a little bit here and there about maybe not new colors, but maybe a little update. Maybe a little update on its way, but same colors, just different Tron bikes between the riders there. Chris Rivera saying, go Vixens! Cheering on the Vixens team out there, so good to see everybody out there. Who's going to win? Let's start hearing your predictions in the men's race. Are we going to see Szerzynski from Team PL here, Poland here, out on course, hammering away, trying to make things happen, but only 2 riders from Team Poland left in the lineup here at the front right now, out of the front runners right now. Vision does have the strength and numbers, but there is a climb in front of them right now that might make it not matter one bit, actually, whether or not they've got the numbers. You've got to have the power in order to make things happen out on course here. So as they head into the box hill for the final time, all of the chips are going to have to go on the table, I think. Nothing needs to be saved, especially from Team Poland. You know, I think the reality is in a sprint, the strength in numbers matters as well, because you can just keep ramping it up, ramping it up, ramping it up. And if you have the communication correctly, you can go with every one of those attacks. They really have to throw what they have, I think, into this climb right here in order to make things happen, at least to roll the dice in their favor and get the best chances for taking this W. Can Team Poland show that they are the strongest on the course and just drop Jeffrey off? That is the question. I'm not sure Jeffrey is the strongest of the climbers out here either. We did see him fall off on Box Hill, and I think Trzynski might have a little bit of advantage in the climbing, and Team Vision is going to have to do everything they can, I think, to keep Creel in this race. We'll have to see, though. It's a little bit longer climb. We've seen him win on the Watopia when everything was on the line. We've seen Jeffrey win on the Watopia hilly flat on the hilly course, reverse and forward. So he can make it over a shorter climb, a climb that's about 3 to 4 minutes or so. But we're talking about a 6-minute, what do you got? Everything on the line here, VO2 max effort here. Will Team Poland, though, throw their cards on the table? That's the question. Are they going to wait for the river card, though, and see whether or not they got the sprint, or is it time for the turn here and make their way to the top here in the lead? We are seeing Trzynski now 5.5 watts per kilogram. Zimmerman there 5.8. Burkholt there as well. We're seeing Martikainen at the front now, 150 beats per minute there. Commissar now going a little bit. Vision starting to populate the front of this field. Maybe in order to slow things down, though, make sure that it's difficult to come around perhaps the riders on the front. Now, though, Team PL just letting people know who the strongmen are as they start to turn the screws. 6.2 watts per kilogram currently coming from Trzynski. Trzynski, they're 4.3 there as well. Going right to the front with Commissar there, who now is just holding a steady 4.6. And that is a reality in road racing. If you go to the front and make it kind of hard, it makes it very difficult to make it very hard, especially if a rider keeps coming around you, just making it kind of hard. And so, like, it looks like they might be just continually closing the door for Trzynski here, trying to keep the things as slow as they possibly can, perhaps. Or will Creel show us that he's got the climbing legs? He's on the back foot now, it looks like a little bit there. 168 per minute. Look at Kim Little there, just following the wheel of his rider today, making sure that if he does fall back, he always has 1 or 2 riders behind him there in order to give him a wheel. Diner here now supporting him full on there, 5.8 watts per kilogram. It looks like Commissar there. Trzynski now making his way to the... Now, things are slowing down, though, now. Trzynski with a little bit of attack, 8 watts per kilogram real quick. The Netzer now making his way to the front, 162. As you can see, it looks like Wigforce... Not sure who he's riding for, but he's a force at the front right now. That's for sure. 6.0 watts per kilogram. And getting a little ride on here with an attack. They might just let all that go. Maybe Trzynski, though, take advantage and try and close the gap there. Grab that wheel on the climb, but he's at 184 beats per minute. Quentin, you've raced against these guys many times. Where's the heart rates at? How are the people doing? I don't think Trzynski has a whole lot of ceiling left.
Nobody's got a lot of seating left, and what it's going to come down is it's going to be mental. It's going to be in the head. It's going to come down to what Jeffrey likes to call the BMT, the big match temperament, and what they can do when it matters. And yeah, that's
the BMT is on the line. The big match temperament. I love it.
Exactly. And that's what it's going to come down to, and they are both going to be pushed to the limits, and yeah, that's as good as it gets. You have the 2 riders, and the one important thing is that you don't get dropped too far at the top of the climb to be able to come back. If you're the one dropped, or you can try to put as much as you can in the climb, as we saw. We saw Jeffrey's parents in social media integration, as you like to call it, and yeah, a lot of support today for that race on both sides, and it's a very special race. The playoffs in every sport, you always hear that. It's a little bit harder. It's a little bit faster. It's a little bit bigger, and in the CVR league, it's true as well. You have so much more hype than any other kind of race that you see, and it's that's the big games. It doesn't get any better when it comes to racing and in terms of hype.
Yeah, so the riders in the front here, it's all about the big match here right now at this point, and it's coming down to the moments of truth here, I think, for the riders. Now, we did see a couple of attacks a moment ago from Team PL, but nobody's got anything left. It's just about what you got left in the heart, that's for sure at this point. You can see 161 beats per minute. Straczynski there, 185 beats per minute. I'm going to give him a ride on there to try and give him some encouragement there. Now, Creel is there as well. I'm going to give him a ride on as well. Both of the riders are still in here. It's going to come down. Is it going to come down to a sprint effort? We did see Team PL get away over the last kicker that is over the top of Box Hill. There's that last little 14% gradient or so. Will they be able to get away over that? Again, this time, try and send Creel into the hurt locker over the top here. We'll see if it can happen there. Now, Diner with another attack, 8.4, 8.6 watts per kilogram. Trying to slow things down, perhaps, actually, not speed them up, as he slows right on down as he goes past Straczynski there and make sure that the speed is not too high, as Straczynski now has to jump on that wheel, and they are able to really keep the pace. Man, they have done an amazing job on the front end of this race, keeping things as slow as they possibly can. Well, not as slow as they possibly can, but making sure, Jeffrey does seem like he's on the back at this point, on the back foot. And it looks like Team Vision is trying to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere and is confident in the sprint of Jeffrey Creel. Now, is Creel a sprinter? Is that what they're looking for here, Quentin, out on course? Is that what you think is going to be the team tactic?
Well, I'm not going to lay it out for you right there, but I'm going to remind you what happened in the qualifying race for London and how it played out. So that speaks for itself, I think, when it comes to Jeffrey's ability to sprint.
Yeah, I think you are 100% correct there on that. Now, there are some questions coming through. These are good questions. Anson Brooks, it's great to see you in the broadcast. He said, I thought this was all over. So that's a great question. This is the postseason for the CVR World Cup. So there was the first season that they were running, actually the winter season, the winter season that they were running. And the winter season was the main season where they battled it out for the top 8 spots, and that's where they gave those away. Now in the postseason, there's a head-to-head battle actually going on right now for the final spot in the men's and the women's races actually here. So right now we have seen the battles here being played out. February 27th, the first week of battles took place, and you can see the winners in the brackets. These have all been posted over at the CVR World Cup's Facebook page, as well as their Twitter as well, I believe. Today is Tuesday, March 6th, and the battles going on all day today are going on in each one of these zones: Zone B, Zone C, Zone E, and then Zone G later today. So those will be the races. Right now we're watching Peter Straczynski versus Jeffrey Creel for the men's side of things. For the women's side of things, we are watching Kessels versus Anna Barbado, and then Jenny Johansson versus Barb Kreisel. It looks like Johansson was a no-show, and it looks like Kessels is off the front currently in the women's race. So that's the current situation. A little explanation for you, but we are seeing the attacks here in the men's race. There was an attack there off the front, just a little bit there, coming from the likes of Team PL. They were able to grab a little bit of space between themselves and the Vision Riders, but not anything that was able to stick, actually. Schwartz actually went off the back up onto the top. That's interesting to see. Schwartz, super strong rider, so it must have been stupid fast up on the top. 6 minutes, 7/10 of a second, actually, what they had to be exact over the top of the climb here. All back together here, and it looks like it's going to be all about the sprint. And if they are confident in the sprint, they have done their job for Creel. Now they need to set him up correctly, though. That is going to be the question. Can they set it up correctly? Will Straczynski be able to be the main lead-out man, keep Straczynski on the wheel correctly? It's all coming down to this final few Ks up and out of the underground, over the bridge, and then into the finish line. Who's going to take it? Straczynski or Creel? I've seen a lot of predictions out there about Kim Little. I've seen predictions about Team X. I've seen predictions about... These riders do not want to win. Just so you know, it is Straczynski versus Creel. Everybody in this front pack is working for somebody. Now, there may be a winner out of here today that is not working for somebody, but that's not the race that matters on the day. That's not the person who's going to move forward in the brackets. Only Creel or Straczynski can move forward in the brackets we were just showing you there, and it's going to come down to this final sprint right here, unless we see something get out of the underground and get away from the rest of the riders. It'd be interesting to see if they can do so. Up and out of that underground here. Now Diner here on the front end of the race. As you can see, 6.0 watts per kilogram. Strzezinski now 4.9, trying to set up his rider here, but it's Strzezinski who's off the back. It's not going to matter. Where is Creel? Creel off the back a little bit here. Those bike lengths really do matter. This is going to matter right here. Will he hang on to the wheels, or is it going to be all said and done before they even exit? 6.2 set. Oh, but look at the heart rate. So calm. But you can't play it too calm. He's trusting Adam Webb. He is trusting the rest of the riders around him to bring him back no matter what, to keep his heart rate as low as they possibly can, to keep as many matches left in that match book to the line so that he has the big matches here on the line when it comes down to it. Will he have it? Will he have the effort though? Is it going to happen here for Jeffrey Creel, or will it be Strzezinski from Team Poland who can have the, I would call it an upset at this point, only because, not because he's not a strongman, only because of the team he has been up against out on course here. It's been, you know, Team PL showed up in force, but they were not all able to go with it here. And as you can see, it's down to just 2, maybe 3 riders here working for Strzezinski. I have a feeling there may be a few other riders that are not from Vision that are mixed in here, currently working for Team PL now, as you can see. Now on the front here, Netzer here, Diner here, keeping things fast, it looks like here. Looks like Strzezinski there as well with Commissary. Strzezinski are now sitting mid-pack, but Creel here perfectly set up, it looks like. Strzezinski set up pretty well though. 4.6 watts per kilogram. Strzezinski now 5.7, but he's a little bit high on the heart rate here, I think. I think the heart rate might be a little out of control here for the likes of Strzezinski. Will he be able to calm it down? I think he's got about 15 beats to work with. What is going to happen, though, with Creel and Strzezinski at the line? What I mean, obviously, we know what the prediction is. If we don't even have to ask Mr. Quentin Lefay, he thinks Creel's going to win. I think it's a 50-50. I'm going to give it a coin toss at this point. And now here goes Strzezinski. I've seen Creel, though, many a times win these sprints. Strzezinski now starting to lead things out, following Commissar. Now, they cannot leave Strzezinski, though, off the back here. Where's Creel? He's following Creel, but Creel's got a wheel. Strzezinski's off the back. It might be done. He's able to close it down immediately, though, as you can see. Here is the battle. Strzezinski slows it right on down, gives him the wheel. There's Creel right in front of him, though. As you can see, he's following. It all comes down to these last moments between these two. Will Strzezinski be able to come around? He's trying to follow the wheel, but the door's closed. It looks like it's going to be Jeffrey Creel. Jeffrey Creel to the line. He's going to take it. It looks like he's walking away from Strzezinski. Will it be Creel? No, here comes Strzezinski. It's right there, neck and neck. Oh my gosh, Strzezinski walks away at the last moment and takes it. What an upset, boys and girls. That was right there, and Creel timed it. Oh, but I saw 11 watts per kilogram. It was there. He had the power, but it looked like he just waited just a little too long. Oh my goodness, look at the replay. Here goes Strzezinski. There's Creel. Creel's got it timed perfectly, it looks like, on the down here, but through the pack, Strzezinski comes flying through. He played it so perfectly, actually, as you can see there, right on through to the finish line, just nips it at the line there, and it looks like it's gonna be Strzezinski. Team PL, well played. Amazing job, actually, there all around. Quentin, what a race there.
That was a great display of team racing. I mean, from both sides, it was just amazing to watch. Actually, it's impressive how hard these guys can go, and how dedicated they are to the racing and to what's on the line. And that was really well, they went very far, very deep in themselves to push as hard as they could. And I mean, it came down to half a wheel.
Heart race. That was insane. That was insane.
It was. It was as high as it gets, and that was. Yeah, it came down to nothing. It came down to
the last wheel. I mean, it came down to. I mean, that was it. That was the last wheel. Now we are back in with the women's racing. And we're gonna see the finish here for Vixen, who has just dominated this course here, out on course here, this race, and looks to have walked away with this one. PTZ still in full support of Anna here, it looks like, as Anna's holding a steady 2.5 watts become Avery there as well as Lively. But it looks like Vixen here now walking away with Cassie on the front as well. But this, let's watch it one more time here. That replay, I mean, what an effort here by both teams. Amazing, amazing effort. But in the end, watch how Szerzynski plays this one here. You can see them at the back of the pack here. Now times his 9 watts per kilogram start coming right on through. Jeffrey kicks at 10, but it looks like the speed came on just a little too late, and it looks like Szerzynski had the charge. Look at the charge. His charge started long before Creel's did. If we back this up just a little bit, watch when he goes and watch when his orange numbers actually start. If we look and we analyze the sprint, and when Szerzynski actually starts to sprint, Creel is at 8 watts per kilogram here, but Szerzynski is already doing 9, 10 watts per kilogram, and he has started the sprint much earlier, so he closes the gap immediately to Creel's wheel while Creel's doing 10 watts per kilogram. He grabs onto that wheel at 9 watts per kilogram and doesn't have to do quite as much of an effort. He's matching it. Now 8, you can see it's even less on the power there. And now as he comes through, though, Creel actually has a little bit more than Szerzynski, but it was the draft. Now watch, Creel has 11 watts per kilogram, but it was the speed. It's not always about power. It's about speed. What kind of speed do you have the line? And the late jump from Creel, I think, is what ended up biting him there at the end. He had more power. It looked like he had more power, actually, when it comes to watts per kilogram, when it comes to just pure, like, what do you got? But it was the timing, I think, that he didn't go over the top with enough speed into the downhill, Quentin.
Exactly. Well, like we say pretty much every week, it's all about timing when it comes down to a sprint. And the London sprint is actually very special because you have that downhill at the 150 meters. And yeah, if you come with more speed than the guy before you in that small downhill, you basically go past him in the last 2 meters, and that's what we saw today. I mean, you see the watts of both riders, and yeah, at this point the watts don't matter anymore. You can basically just almost freewheel to the finish line once you get the speed on the small downhill, and that's what mattered today.
What are we watching here with the B? Is there something on the line with this B category? Because I'm being yelled at.
Exactly.
That's the B category.
Yeah, exactly. In the B category, you have the B bracket. Actually, you have 2 heads-to-head in the B bracket. You have Nate Scott versus Vikström that we have on screen right now, and you have Liam Bard versus Frank Deal on the second head-to-head. So same deal as the women. You have to set up the time for your race, and for the B bracket, they set up both the heads-to-head.
So it looks like Vikström's is actually going to be walking away with this one, if I'm not incorrect.
That's what it looks like.
Looking through and see.
That is definitely what it looks like.
I do have the B bracket here, actually. Go ahead and bring this right into the broadcast, actually. So it looks like Vikström up against Scott is going to be grabbing the sprint here, as you can see, as it comes to the line. Solid result here for him as he is able to grab that sprint. So Vikström just ahead, it looks like, of the WBR rider that was just a little ways back here. Let's see if we can grab back into that race here. We are seeing Edwards here across the line here with PD coming from WBR. Now, there's Liam Bard and Frank Deal here battling out. I'm not actually seeing them out on course at this point, though. Are they quite a ways back here in this B bracket here, or did they already come across the line, perhaps, and we just missed the battle? Looking through, I have a feeling perhaps they're already across the line.
Oh, yeah, they already came across the line. And that's what I'm seeing right now. And yeah, I'm seeing that Frank Deal came third in the race overall, and Liam Bard fourth. So I think Frank
Ooh.
Deal is moving on to the next round. And
So Frank Deal then's
on the
going to be
other hand,
taking on, it looks like, Arvis Vikströms in the B category then.
uh,
Who won between
that's what it
Lundorf
looks
and
like.
Tyson Weiland earlier today? Do we know?
No, I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Okay.
I don't think I followed this one.
Gotcha. So will then be, as you can see in the results right now, it's going to be Vikström's Bard battling it out, or excuse me, Vikström's Deal, I believe, battling it out in the next B bracket, actually. So good to see them out on course, hammered away. Now, with the women's race here, it looks like Kona Bear walking away from teammate for the win on the day. Already doing the work for Kessel's out there. It looks like no love lost there, and it's just gonna be like, see ya later when it comes. Now, where's Kessel's though? Now, oh, there she is. There. So we are seeing. So now Kessel's also perhaps getting a little earlier look at some of the competition out on course. Perhaps. I mean, she's going to have to race, I believe. Now, where is Kessel's though? Now, wait a second here. Vixen here, Webster, Minor, Kreisel. I am not seeing. Did the rider drop out? Is this an upset here?
I'm seeing a dropout on the live results. I'm going to Swift Power right now to try to see that.
No.
But I'm seeing a dropout on the CVR live rankings. And that's the upset we were talking about earlier. It can happen. That's the kind of thing that can happen. And we see Webster stopping now. And
She actually left the event. She left the event outright.
yeah, I think so.
Oh, no.
That's a huge upset.
That is a huge upset. We're seeing Frank Garcia out on course. Good to see Frank out there manning the, being the commissar. He's manning the race right now, it looks like. Making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to. The car, the official's car is out on course here. Looking through, though, that is a sad situation, actually, for the likes of the riders that were working for Team Vixen out there. Now, if we don't find Kessel's out there, now maybe we'll find Kessel's. We'll have to wait and see. But I have a feeling the
I'm going to try to see if she's still on course, but I'm not sure she is.
Yeah, and as I look through the riders right now, I'm not sure either. Nigel now looks like about to come across the line here in the CVR World Cup race here, getting a good workout in. Let's see if we can find the rest of the Vixens, but it looks like it may be Barbados who might go through unless Kessels can log back into her event. She would have to log back in and get into the event actually to make this happen.
Yeah, she's not online anymore.
She's not even online
I can
anymore.
see her online. No, I don't think she's online.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So technical difficulty, it looks like here, is a reality of racing, real life and virtual. And it looks like internet dropped out or they left. It looks like perhaps we're not sure. We have no idea. We have no idea what happened there. So women in the final 1.5 Kessels have vanished. Yeah, Lulana, yeah, thank you for the update there. We're not sure what happened. And because of that, it causes definitely a very different situation out on course here. It looks like Barbados may be getting through to the next bracket, actually. Now, she's going to have her work cut out for her. The PTZ delays were about 8 minutes back. Again, you guys, we have two different broadcast setups here, and we can't find them on either of them right this second. I will get back to them as fast as I possibly can as we work our way through the riders. As they come across the finish line for the men's race, I will leave the men's race as fast as possible and get back in with the women's race. As you can see, I'm clicking around. There are well over 6,000 people out on course right now. So as we click around a little bit, we are still looking for a few of the women. Here we go. So the women's race here, Kona Bear, as you can see, we found them. And it looks like it is going to be Kona Bear battling it out here with Cassie for the win. Now, this is not for any of the brackets. I believe Kona Bear has already gone through and just puts a little stamp of dominance here over the top of Cassie Baldy here. Kreisel now from draft here shows up and gets the bye. It looks like solid result here for Barbara Kreisel. Minor there a little ways behind. The PTZ ladies now working hard for Anna Barbero, about 9 minutes back though. So it's going to be a solid TT effort for them to get her to the line. Muldoon there from Vixen working along with them. Maybe just hoping to see their rider log back in, suddenly magically get back into the event. But I think once she is out of the program, completely logged out, she cannot get back into the event actually. So Kreisel going to cross the line and going to solidify her spot into the next part of the bracket. And it looks like Minor here, Avery now with the other PTZ ladies here now making their way up and over the top. It looks like Barbado is going to get a little assistance here, and 126 beats per minute, maybe knowing that she just has to cross the line here, Quentin, and not putting a huge effort, and going to maybe look for some training over the next couple days instead.
Well, maybe it's just the heart rate monitor that had some trouble. We see her back in the 150s, 160s. So I think it was just a little bug. But yeah, now she to cross the line to move on to the next round. And well, that's that was kind of an upset. Well, we saw upsets in so many races today. That's hard to keep count. But yeah, it's well, it's always a little bit sad for the other rider when it comes to technical difficulties. But I mean, it's part of the game, and it's well, now she just has to then move on to the next round, and why not to the finals? Now that she got a spot for the semifinals.
So it looks like Frank the Tank actually is live after his race. Looks like he just went live actually over on Twitch. Good to see Frank hanging out on Twitch. Your stickers are on their way. I didn't have any postage here actually. So they are on their way, Frank, if you are watching right now still. But it is good to see him over there streaming over on Twitch. I gave a link actually over at the Zwift Community Live Twitch channel, actually, just to let everybody know where you can find people who are streaming. Now, we do like to support all the other streamers of Zwift out there. The whole point of Zwift Community Live is to grow a streaming community, which is growing a lot, actually. And we want to give as much shout outs as we can. G, Leo, CS Tricks, who are all in the chat. Make sure to chat, you guys. And you, you know, I can give some shout outs to all the streamers who are in the chat as well that are streaming on Twitch. Frank the Tank is out there as well right now, riding for Team Experimental live on Twitch. Probably could be able to chat with him a little bit about his win if you wanted to over on his channel. Throw him a follow. And if you ever want to find anybody who is streaming Zwift, actually, it's very simple. You can head on over to twitch.tv and just search the Zwift game. If you head on over to the Zwift Community Live channel right now, actually, right at the bottom of the broadcast, there's a little game icon and the name Zwift. If you click that, you see all the live streams that are going on currently, and you also see all of the past broadcast videos by clicking the past broadcast videos up at the top. And you can actually see everybody's saved past broadcasts that are on Twitch as well. So you can see everybody who's streaming Zwift right now, or, you know, in the past 30 to 90 days, actually, and follow their channels if you want to consume more media from Twitch live streaming, actually. So what's up, A Brooks? Forgot about Twitch. Can't be doing that. So a lot of big things coming up as we watch the women finish up their race today for PTZ and take down this this last spot in the bracket with Anna Barbado here, actually. Tomorrow we'll be doing a workout Wednesday with Bike Radar. I believe Matt Rowe is absent tomorrow, so our Bike Radar workout, I believe, is going to be at noon Central Standard Time. So workout Wednesday, Bike Radar. We are doing that in conjunction with Bike Radar with Ben Delaney. And then we also have someone from Stages Cycling coming in, one of their coaches. actually. So if you guys want to jump in with that, you can do Workout Wednesday with myself, Ben Delaney, and one of the Stages Cycling coaches tomorrow. And then also we have on Thursday, we've got kind of variety streams. We may have some racing. We may be doing Gold Rush again, actually. And then obviously Women's Week is starting up next week, and we're going to have a huge amount of focus on Women's Week on Zwift with a ton of women's events, actually. I think culminating in a women's race, actually, on Saturday. I believe it is next week, Saturday. So it's going to be a lot of stuff coming up here on ZCL. So if you want notifications of any time that we do go live with any of that, Twitch is the place to get live push notifications. If you're following on Facebook, you will not get as many notifications actually anytime we go live. Anytime we go live, anytime that we do have any content, for a push notification directly to your email, your Twitch mobile app, which you should download if you want to watch on Twitch, as well as your Twitch desktop app. They will all notify you. The reason I knew Frank was streaming is I got a little notification on my desktop that said Frank the Tank was streaming. Bam, I saw that because I follow him. I opened up his stream, and bam, you guys know as well. So make sure to check all of that out. So Quentin, probably a little bit of an upset, probably a little bit of frustration going on over at the team bus. You know, I can over at the Vision team bus. What's the mood over there at this point? Still, I would think happy.
Well,
a lot of camaraderie, I would think.
Yeah, I mean the guys had obviously a great time racing. I mean, it's not that often that you get the occasion to bring everyone together for something, and I mean you can't be too disappointed at the race today. I mean, when you have that kind of race where everything is on the line, you just have to give it all, and everyone in the team car knows that they went as deep as they could. And knowing that you can't be disappointed, and it's all about giving it your best effort and see what happens. And if it works out, it's good. And if it doesn't work out, well, the effort was there, so nothing to regret. They played it perfectly. They used it to the maximum, and they had a great use of everything they had at their disposal. And that's what it's about. I mean, it's about getting the emotion out there. And today was a lot of emotions, I guess, in the team car, and for Jeffrey, for Trzynski as well. A huge roller coaster over an hour of racing, of warming up, and yeah, I mean it's 9 p.m. for Piotr. It's 4 a.m. for Jeffrey, and the emotions are the same. When you're in the race, you're very focused. You're talking with your teammates, trying to see what to do, how to do it, and yeah, that's basically what it's all about in there.
So Barbado just crossing the line, it looks like, is going to take the next spot. We are seeing actually the team manager there, BJ Alfonso, saying so proud of the ladies there. Go Team PTZ. So good to see BJ hanging out there for the duration of the race. Anna gets through, supports fully, coming from the rest of her teammates there. So solid job to Anna. Barbado making her way through. Sorry to see the drop out there from Ketzels from Vixen. Vixen showed up in force and looks like had a little bit of a technical difficulty. So Anna will slip through on that. But it looks like Kreisel then also on the women's side of things will be getting through on a bye because it looks like Johansson did not show up out of the Netherlands. Now, there will be more racing coming up. Let me just check real quickly here. What is going on with coverage later in the day of G? We may see some coverage going down over on the, I wouldn't be surprised over at Cycling, CVR World Cup's Cycle View. I wouldn't be surprised if they did have a little bit of coverage of that over there. We'll have to see if Zone G is covered over there. But George Barbosa coming through saying, very nice. Watching this is as good as watching cycling on TV. Thanks, George Barbosa. Appreciate it. Katie Brady Pothier saying, great job. Great job, Anna. And a huge shout out to Anna there. She did great out on the course for sure. So, Quentin, Zone G,
yep.
Up next. The situation, though, for E, here's what happened. We had the Peter Trzynski able to get through just ahead of Creel. And later today, we'll have Jero Nufkins. Now, we will not be covering that. He'll be going up against Eric Hung. And that battle will be super interesting to play out. And whoever wins that is going to have to take on Szerzynski and Team PL, who have been a force to reckon with. As you can see, Zone E, Marcin Krzywonos, Peter, head-to-head. They had two riders up against each other. Szerzynski was able to get through. What's your prediction between Nufkins and Hung? I have a feeling Hung may be getting through.
Well, that's very hard to say because none of them has raced they both have raced the first round, but both of their opponents didn't show up on the first round, so they didn't have that play of tension in the first round. So it's going to be very special for both of them, and I don't know them that well, so it's pretty much a 50-50 as well for that last spot in the semifinals.
Gotcha. So 50-50 coming from Quentin LaFay. He says it's a coin toss. In the women's situation here, Jenny Matz here just have to show up and race, it looks like. And it looks like will be Barbado getting through because of Kessel's unable to finish out there. And then Barb Kreisel will get a bye. Now, who is Barb up against, though, in this next bracket here? She will be battling it out. You said with Dixie Newsom, I believe. And that's PTZ, isn't it?
No,
for Vixen.
I think
she's riding for Vixen.
Yeah,
or is it Fearless? Oh my gosh, I have no idea. She's riding
actually,
for every women's team out there
right now. Yeah, that might not be realistic nor appreciated, I guess. But yeah, it was in Zone B. I'm looking at the results right now,
Sounds
and yeah, Dixie won the women's race just before Beth York and Lisa Chain, and Sonia Whitemine took fourth place. So Dixie is moving out to the next round.
Dixie's moving on to the next round. Racing for? Was she racing for? Was it got on
Vixen.
For
Vixen. It was a Vixen double.
Was it Vixen double header? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so Vixen on the warpath actually here. They almost took them all without that dropout. They would have been in a solid spot.
Yeah, they have definitely put a light on the playoffs this time, getting as much spots as they can, and ultimately maybe we'll see a full Vixen finals. That might be the goal for them.
That would be really cool, actually. It'll be great to see them all in Los Angeles. And I was actually thinking about that, how cool it's going to be to have everybody getting together in this virtual world. We race against each other, and ride with each other week in and week out, day in and day out here out on Zwift, and getting to the live events, meeting each other. You know, those are always the coolest culminations of all of this effort we put in, you know. So I'm really excited to get there and meet everybody. I will be there as a spectator, I believe. So it'll be fun to watch the racing as things heat up. But all right, Quentin, thanks for all your help.
Yep.
All your great knowledge of everything that's going on. And we will be back tomorrow. Make sure to head on over to twitch.tv, hit that follow button over at Zwift Community Live over there. And check out some of the other streamers, as there are some live right now with some more Zwift stuff. I may be jumping on actually and riding on my stream as well. We'll see if we've got some time to get a ride in here. But that's going to be up from us at Zwift Community Live. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And as always, ride on.